during COVID, my husband had been deployed to Poland, and when he came back, he had to quarantine, and he would FaceTime us and read books, and we would use that, and so we would use the books that we got from United Through Reading. The app was really important for us to stay connected. Every night we read books, so we have bath, books, and bed, and that's kind of our routine when we're home. And so that was really nice to add into that routine of, Daddy could still read us a book at night. This was a deployment unlike any other deployment we've ever had. Some of it because of location, some of it because of duration. We PCS shortly thereafter. My husband, he had to stay in Georgia because that was during COVID when everyone had to get exceptions to policies to travel. And so he had to stay there, but we had already closed on our house here in Ohio. And I was pregnant. I was 35 weeks pregnant when I moved. Just having that ability to turn it on and hand him my phone and just be like, here, have Daddy for a minute. The fact that it was him being able to talk to Derry was really, really awesome. I think the most important thing about United Through Reading is it is providing that safety net for children, that safety net of stability and family. There's so much in a military family's life that is beyond their control, that is out of their control. And so having that sustaining connection of a parent reading to a child and incorporating that into their daily routine, not only is it a benefit for those of us that are home, but it's also a benefit for those that are downrange because they know that they're still interacting with their child. Even though it's a virtual means, it's not them in person, it still is fulfilling that. And so I think that's just so important.
I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Good afternoon, good evening. Hi, we're the Taylor family. We're here in San Diego, California. My name is HM3 Taylor, HM2 Taylor as of today. We're with the USS Abraham Lincoln. We're here today. We just want to talk a little bit about the great wonderful opportunity that United Through Reading provided us, especially on this past deployment. I had the opportunity to be able to read to my boys a really good book, and United Through Reading was able to send that to them from all the way across the Middle East to them, for them to have face-to-face contact with me and be able to communicate with us. It was a great joy for our sons to be able to have that, and more or less it was a great important opportunity for me to be able to spread that amongst my shipmates and my friends and colleagues on the boat. We were at different time zones, so I just figured if I can do the story, they can definitely read it during story time. My hope was to be able to get more and more so they'd have multiple books to read, and by the time I get home they could be fluently reading those books to me.
Yeah, they would play it very frequently. I know Ryan is the youngest, so I think that just helped him just soothe his soul a little bit as we let the deployment pass by. So he would go to it by himself. He would just pop it in and the DVD, and he would just play it.
I believe the United Through Reading experience is something that's to take for granted. I asked my dad about this, and they certainly did not have this. They had to write letters, and it took forever and a day to get there. You guys were able to get this video delivered and sent out in very quick and time fashion. So that was just remarkable. Just from previous generations of military time, it was remarkable for the day and age we are with the technology that you guys provided for us. We're definitely extended beyond when we're supposed to be home, missed all the holidays, and so this was a key element to help with that.
It was just a wonderful opportunity to connect with everybody. It's a great connection for us.
I actually first heard about United Through Reading at a military event that was held at JBMDL in New Jersey. One of the representatives had a table, and she was handing out the little cards of the locations that you could record them. And at that time they weren't doing the app, and gave me all the instructions and how did you do everything.
I started recording my first books a few months ago when we moved to Charleston, and I had to start flying some more, and it went pretty well. It's a super easy to use app, and you can go pretty quickly. So if you're trying to do more than one book, you can do them in rapid succession, and that's a really nice feature for when I'm having to be on the road.
I like Grumpy Pirate and Nibble Simon actually because it explains like Daddy because he's almost always grumpy.
I usually do about 5 at a time. Our library from the ones I've recorded for him is up to about 25 books or so.
Dada goes on trips and I miss him a lot, so I can just watch the books from that app and then I'll be able to listen to him, like be with him.
He tries to Facebook Live him a lot, and when Dada is not reachable, I will give him my iPad and I will give him, 30 minutes to pick from any of the library of what he would like to listen to, and he just can have that one-on-one time that he wants but isn't able to get. It's just a really nice way for the 3 of us to stay connected in a way that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
Let me start by saying the most important thing I promise I will say, and that is thank you. Thank you for this award. It is beautiful. It is shaped like a book. The Audrey Geisel Friend of Military Children Award. Honored to be here. What I really want to do is tell you also not just why this award means a lot to me, but why United Through Reading should mean a lot to you. And I will tell you that I have traveled the globe to military families. I've been to Kuwait, I've been to Qatar, I've been to Oman, I've been to Turkey, I've been to Cuba, I've been all over, and I always read books to kids there. It is an incredible thing because you know what the most powerful thing in the whole world is? An idea. And you know what books are? They're just lots of ideas all put together. So the most powerful thing really in the world has to be stories and books and these things that United Through Reading helps you get to military families. In case you don't know, I mean, this is important stuff. If you use the app, especially now, it is breakthrough for people who are separated from their families. It is a vital lifeline. Kids get stories, they get to see a loved one, they get that most powerful thing we talked about, ideas. I believe that everyone in life has a legacy. We all have legacies. And you all do amazing things, right? That's why you're involved with this incredible organization. But what I can tell you this is there are now thousands of kids, 585,000 to be exact, kids out there, and they have no idea of your name, and you have no idea of who they are. But you are forever now part of each other's legacy. Those kids are part of your legacy. The stories you unleash are part of your legacy, and what you do matters. So please keep supporting United Through Reading. Thank you for this amazing award. Thank you to everyone, and I really appreciate this one. It means a lot. Dr. Seuss is a big one to me, and his wife, Audrey Geisel, is pretty amazing too. Thanks so much.
Hello everyone, I'm Catherine Garcia from NBC7 San Diego, and I am so pleased to be joining you this year for Storybook Chapters presented by United Through Reading. On behalf of United Through Reading, we truly hope that you and your families are healthy and safe. I'm thrilled to be the Master of Ceremonies at this year's Storybook Ball, as I've done for the past 3 years. We're so sorry that we cannot gather in person this year for what has become such a fun event in San Diego. But we thank you for allowing us into your homes and hope you'll find this evening just as fun and even inspirational. As a military child, I know how important it is to share quality family time. My family and I have a deep respect for our service members and their families, and I'm proud to support United Through Reading's mission. As a mother, I will always cherish the reading adventures my son Jackson and I have shared. And thanks to United Through Reading, more than 2.4 million military mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, grandparents, siblings, and children have sustained bonds and fostered literacy by sharing stories across great distances for more than 30 years. That's what United Through Reading is all about, connecting military families who are separated for deployment or military assignment by providing the bonding experience of shared story time. Tonight, we've shared 4 storybook chapters with you and information about the themes of United Through Reading's Readiness 365 initiative, which aims to ensure no one misses story time, no matter the distance. Don't worry if you missed any of the previous chapters, you can go back and watch them on the United Through Reading website. Through Readiness 365, United Through Reading aims to keep military families reading ready through all service-related separations and to encourage military families to read together every day. We know that service members and their families experience a wide range of service-related separations beyond deployments. This year, with COVID-19, separations have included mandatory quarantines and extended deployments due to stop movement orders. These separations can be hard, whether mom or dad is a state or a continent away. But United Through Reading stands ready to help families stay connected, especially through their mobile reading app. Through Readiness 365, United Through Reading helps maintain family connections, boosting morale and making reintegration easier when service members come home. It provides families with communication that is reliable, repeatable, and accessible. Military families have access to the UTR app 24/7 and can film or watch their recordings at any time for story time on demand. Readiness 365 also helps reinforce family routines, regular bedtimes, and bedtime stories, reducing stress for the whole family. And it promotes daily reading, which strengthens children's literacy skills and educational development. There's no one more passionate about the Readiness 365 initiative and the expansion in United Through Reading's programs for military families than its CEO, Dr. Sally Ann Zoll.
Thank you, Catherine, and hello, everyone. We'd much rather be together at the Storybook Ball tonight, but we're so grateful for the many partners who, despite the cancellation of this in-person event, have maintained their support during this uncertain time. I want to recognize Dollar General Literacy Foundation, who helps us bring books to our over 200 story stations around the world, and the thousands of military families who use our mobile reading app. We appreciate their commitment to keeping families connected through the power of reading. And last but certainly not least, we are so grateful to the Reader's Digest Foundation, our keystone sponsor of Readiness 365. They have been a significant partner for many years, and we are excited that they are continuing their steadfast and visionary support of military families through United Through Reading. We thank these partners and all of our sponsors for your support. We'd also like to thank the Foley, Taylor, Fontana, and Myers families, 4 beneficiary families who've been part of this virtual event this year and shared their United Through Reading experiences with us. These 4 families represent the thousands of military families we're privileged to serve every day. We heard how important family connections are from the family of Army Major Darrell Foley. Weeks of separation turned into a month because of a mandatory quarantine, and then a stop movement order caused another separation, sending Lindsay and then 4-year-old Darrell ahead of Major Foley to their new home and duty station, where they recently welcomed Lily Ann, who was born in June. The family of Navy Hospital Corpsman George Taylor told us that because of UTR, communication is easier, even when separated by oceans. Sherelle Taylor found out about UTR on our Instagram and from a visit that our UTR mobile story station made to 8-year-old George and 5-year-old Ryan's elementary school. Sherelle told her husband to make sure he found UTR on board the USS Abraham Lincoln. Sherelle is a huge advocate for UTR and encourages everyone she meets to make recordings, noting the difference seeing a loved one on screen makes in providing emotional support to separated families. Jennifer Fontana, the wife of U.S. Air Force Technical Sergeant Vince Fontana, shared how they maintain the family routine of bedtime stories using the UTR app for 6-year-old Henry. As an Air Force loadmaster, Vince has at times been home for only 2 weeks at a time before going on another mission. The stories that Vince records, and he recorded more than 20 in July, help Henry go to sleep much faster when his daddy is away. In Chapter 4 this week, I was pleased to present this year's Audrey Geisel Friend of Military Children Award to New York Times #1 best-selling author Brad Meltzer, author of The Ordinary People Change the World children's book series. Brad's thrillers and nonfiction books are amazing, but it's his children's books that are a huge hit with our beneficiary families. So much so that we included 2 of them in our summer STEM pack. Thank you, Brad, for encouraging daily reading. And tonight, you'll hear from Sierra Myers, a Navy sailor who used United Through Reading to stay connected to her 2-year-old son, Noah, during a recent deployment. Get your tissues ready. And now, it is my distinct pleasure to recognize 2 Storytime champions of United Through Reading, Vice Admiral DeWolf Miller and his wife, Ellen. Over the past several years, I have gotten to know the Millers and all that they have done for our military families around the world. during Chip's 39 plus years of commissioned service to our great nation. Chip and Ellen were introduced to United Through Reading during Chip's executive office tour on the USS Carl Vinson. They continued to support UTR during his command tour on the USS Nashville and again as commanding officer of the USS George H.W. Bush. At that time, the Bush was the Navy's newest carrier, and the Millers relished the opportunity to embed UTR into the very DNA of the ship and the sailors who sailed on her. To further their love of reading, they hosted authors and book signings aboard the ship. And during his command, the Bush broke the UTR record at the time for the number of stories recorded. We also had the pleasure of honoring the Bush sailors at one of our annual Tribute to Military Family celebrations. And if that weren't enough, Ellen Miller has served as the host committee chair for United Through Reading Storybook Ball, helping us spread the word about what we do for military families. Their leadership is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of United Through Reading, I am so proud and honored to present the 2020 Storytime Champions Award to Vice Admiral and Mrs. Chip Miller.
Our experience with United Through Reading really started during our executive officer tour on USS Carl Vinson, which was in the mid 2000s, I'll say. So we've been in the Navy for a while and been involved with United Through Reading for quite some time and through multiple tours. But it started there because the executive officer and we were about to do an around the world deployment that started in Bremerton, Washington, and ended up in Norfolk, Virginia. So our families were spread all over the United States. And that's the first time that I had learned about United Through Reading and then the power that United Through Reading was going to provide to our family members. And it just started a journey, and I'd call it a love fest with the United Through Reading program as we saw how meaningful it was to those that were able to participate. And Ellen and I have been married for our entire Navy journey, 39 and a half years now. And so her love of reading combined with a passion for taking care of families was really, I'd say, just sparked by being able to participate in United Through Reading. Don't you agree?
Yes. And the sailors and the families, they just felt that connection that they couldn't feel any other way with reading to their children, their favorite storybooks. The children could watch it over and over, fostered a love of reading and language, and I think made them more resilient, made homecomings easier because even when they're little teeny, they can recognize their mom or dad who was gone for a while. And I love being a nurse. I love that you're also in the medical communities, in the hospitals for the wounded and ill. So I just think you're all over the world in many Navy locations, and I just love the program.
Well, we support United Through Reading primarily because we believe in it and we see the value in it. We talk about easing the stress of separation, talking about building family bonds and resiliency. And in our positions as, I started as XO of an aircraft carrier, CO of a deep draft, CO of an aircraft carrier, and then later as a strike group commander. Watching our influence and encouragement of the program grow over time as our influence grew commensurate with our military position was just really rewarding. Our daughter's was an elementary school teacher, and here I am, an admiral with grown kids, and I was reading storybooks to send back to her for her classroom because, it was a break in my busy day. And then I'd also get to talk to the sailors that were waiting in line to read their stories and hear their individual stories of how meaningful the program was to them. Just made us together even more enthusiastic about about supporting the program because how rewarding it was and how meaningful it was to our sailors and their families.
Yeah, to see the kids' faces light up when they see their mom or dad's picture on the screen is just heartwarming.
Yeah, truly. Well, it's very exciting to receive the Storytime Champion Award, and so meaningful because of our close connection with United Through Reading. Because we've, certainly didn't expect anything in return. We just like giving, and as do the organizers of United Through Reading, and we see how powerful it is on our families. So to be recipients of an award from an organization that does so much for our military families is quite meaningful.
It really is an honor. When I was so excited to come to our first Storybook Ball on the West Coast, we had been on the East Coast for a little while, and when seeing Sally and Carrie and Christy and all of the people who run United Through Reading, it's just amazing. Their passion for it is wonderful, and we're just really honored.
Yeah.
So
And
thank
this is the
you.
first thing that you and I have ever received
That's
together.
true. That's true.
So there's that too. So we thank you, United Through Reading,
Yes.
for this honor, and we truly are humbled.
Congratulations, Admiral and Mrs. Miller, and thank you for all you do for our military families. Now, to share information about their commitment to United Through Reading, please welcome from USAA, Justin Schmidt, Assistant Vice President of Corporate Responsibility.
Hi, I'm Justin Schmidt with the USAA Corporate Responsibility Team. If you look around, you might notice that I'm working from home. And like so many of you, we've been experiencing distance from our work teammates these days due to COVID-19. You know, when you think about United Through Reading, they've been helping people deal with physical separation for many decades now. We are so grateful at USAA for United Through Reading and their commitment to military families and helping to strengthen that connection between military personnel on deployment and their families and children back home. For more than 20 years, USA has been grateful to support the United Through Reading mission, which is becoming even more innovative in a COVID environment through their mobile application and integration with military installations, which is making it easier than ever for service members to connect with the people they love back home. So on behalf of USAA, to everyone at United Through Reading, sincerely, thank you.
All right, now we're going to have a little fun. Last year, I had the chance to assist the auctioneer from the stage. United Through Reading always has such great items up for bid. We've cut back on the auction items this year in this virtual setting, but that doesn't mean you won't have a chance to contribute. I'll turn the program over to Mark Drilling of Stokes Auction Group.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Storybook Chapters live auction. All right. Mark Drilling, as you heard Catherine say, I want to thank Catherine for the lovely introduction. I'm so excited to be your fundraising host this year. Yeah, I know it's such an honor to be part of this special evening, and it's a little different than we've had in our past, but our goal remains the same. All right. We're here to raise those valuable dollars. We're here to have fun, and we're here to make a difference. So before we get started, it is digital. So please open either hand bid on your computer or on your mobile app. Search for Storybook Chapters in the Find Events and follow along in the live auction category with the items as we move through them. Now, we only have 4 amazing live auction items. I'm going to give you a minute. Like I said, go back, make sure you have your device on your phone. If you're watching on TV and you're gathering in groups, that's great. We have 4 amazing items. Follow along and followed by our Raise the Paddle. So everyone will have an opportunity to get involved and make a difference this evening. We have some incredible packages. We have Behold Breckenridge. We have Escape to Cabo. We have the Hilton Head Private Club's golf package. And we also have a getaway to exotic Cancun. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to place your bids. You can set a maximum bid so you won't be outbid, and I can't see them, so I won't know. And then follow along on the monitor from your hand bid dashboard, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're still in first place. All right. As everyone is settling in to begin bidding, it's super exciting to share that we have viewers from over 20 states. Normally, we're in San Diego this evening, but they're coming from as far as Massachusetts, South Carolina, Arizona. I'm just going to go ahead and say people are tuning in from all over the world. That sounds better. All right. For our event that, like I said, traditionally takes place here in San Diego, it's amazing that already this evening or today, those chapters have been viewed over 1,000 times. So I'm going to ask you throughout the evening to share the link to this site, share our story, put it on your Instagram, put it on your Facebook. Let's get the word out there. People can continue to give and support. All right. But before we do, it's an honor to be in your home. And we want to thank you. To those of you who are both new friends and our longtime supporters, I want to thank you. We hope you will share your experience, like I said, on your social media platform and help bring our mission and awareness of UTR, that's United Through Reading, to the world. Before I go, I have to say a quick thank you to Dr. Zoll. Thank you, Dr. Zoll. I wish I was with you, and I wish I was in the room with all of your smiling faces. But before we do that, let's have an auction, okay? It's auction time, so here we go. I can already see that we have some bids. Give me a minute while I refresh. I'm going to go ahead and look at where we're at right now. Oh my gosh, we're off to a great start. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, our first live auction item this evening is Behold Breckenridge. That's right. Donated by Walt and Rosemary Johnston and the Teague Insurance Agency. This package includes 7 nights in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo near town. Restaurant, shops. The condo sleeps 8. So let's get started. Let's see where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to click on this item. Here we go. We started the bidding earlier today at 500, 750, now 1,000. I got 12 and a half bid, 1,500, 1,750 from Michael McBride. He was shortly outbid by Denise Jelinski Hall. She was 2, 2,250, with Denise back in at 2,500. Michael bid 2,750. Denise was back in at 3. Michael McBride at 3,250. Denise was back in at 35, and Michael McBride is now 37.50. I'm going to update the bidding and see where we're at now. Go ahead and click on it again. And Michael McBride, you are in first place at 37.50. So here's the deal. As I said, it's 7 nights in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. Breckenridge is a year-round vacation destination. It's located in the Rocky Mountains. It's 70 miles west of Denver. And if you haven't been, there's probably 30 ski resorts within 10 miles, all right? During the winter, as you know, it offers legendary skiing on 5 peaks, lift access. You can go snowmobiling, cross-country skiing. There's tons to do. Let's see where our bids are at now. I'm going to go ahead and update. Give me a second. This virtual deal, it takes a second, but that's okay. And right now, Denise, you're in at 4,000. That's what I'm talking about. All right. In the summer, cycling, hiking, sightseeing, fly fishing, all kinds of fun things to do in the summer. It's, if you'd like, go to Mount Evans within a day's drive. You can rent a boat. It's incredible, ladies and gentlemen. The 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo is located on a mountain stream about halfway between Frisco and Breckenridge. And there's a beautiful pond on site offering panoramic views. Let's see where we're at now. I'm going to go back and update this. Click on this. Denise was in. Let's see. Oh, Michael came back at 42.50, ladies and gentlemen. So we're off to a great start this evening. All right, here we go. It features fully equipped kitchen, Wi-Fi, satellite TV, nearby parking, washer and dryer. It sleeps 6 to 8 guests. There are major supermarkets in nearby Frisco, downtown Breckenridge, and Dillon. Now, there are some exclusions. There are some blackout dates. It's a mutually agreed upon date, 2 years from now, expires November 3rd, 2022. Let's see where the bidding is at now. Before we move on, I'm going to go ahead and tell them that they are in. Let's see. Our bidder right now is Michael McBride at 42.50. I'm going to say last call. I'm going to go ahead and say fair warning. And in a few seconds, this item will be closing. Michael McBride is in at 42.50. Ladies and gentlemen, this item will be closing shortly. Thank you for giving and thank you for bidding. All right. Before we move on, I'm going to let you all know that United Through Reading's Readiness 365 initiative helps maintain family connections, with 93% of families saying the United Through Reading program makes family bonds stronger. Well, that's why we're here. All right, here we go. We're going to go right into our next incredible live auction item. I'm going to go ahead and close my screen, and I'm going to open my new one. And our new item, our next item, is Escape to Cabo San Lucas. It's item 102. Follow along on your phones now, ladies and gentlemen. Handbid is here to help. All right, kindly donated by the Curiel and the Watkins. Thank you, family. The Curiels and the Watkins. Thank you for your support. All right, here we go. It's a getaway to beautiful Cabo San Lucas, Mexico for 5 days and 4 nights. With both exciting nightlife and a casual atmosphere, Cabo is the perfect destination for your whole group. Okay, here we go. We started the bidding earlier at 500. Carol McCrander, you were in. Then you were outbid by Melissa at 750. I took a $1,000 bid from Carol McCrander. Michael McBride, you're a great bidder, at 1250. We're at 15 with Carol. Michael McBride was 1750. And now Christy Gilbert jumped in there with a $2,000 bid. All right, well, let's see where we're at now. I'm going to go ahead and update the screen, see where we're bidding is at now on Cabo San Lucas. And now we're right back at Michael McBride at $2,500. Excellent. All right, the beaches range in temperament from the serene waters of the Sea of Cortez and the Playa del Amor to the kicking waves of zippers or shipwrecks. All right, a surfing paradise. I love to go to Cabo. If you want a truly local experience, head to the coves and the rock formations of the Canary Beaches. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a one-of-a-kind opportunity that you can only buy right here, right now, this evening, and raise those valuable dollars for United Through Reading. All right, Michael McBride, you're in at $2,500. The kids will have a blast communing with the animals by swimming with the dolphins or taking a camel ride. I didn't know you could do that through the desert of the Natural Reserve. You may also see, and I've done this, dove with the whale sharks. Very cool. Or you might see spouting whales. All right, the beautiful condo is located in Misiones del Cabo. It has 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and comfortably sleeps 6. The quiet location features stunning views of the ocean and the legendary Arches Pool and Bar restaurant. All right, town is only a short distance away. Again, there are some blackout dates. There are some restrictions. I do want to say a big thank you to our donors once again. Let's check where our bidding is at now. Michael McBride, you were in at $2,500, and Carol, you've been outbid. Let's just see if you stepped back in and got your bid up higher. All right. Christy Gilbert, ladies and gentlemen, has stepped in at $2,750. That's amazing. I'm going to go ahead and update again. Click on my screen. I'm getting good with my mouse here. And Christy Gilbert, you're our lead bidder right now at $2,750. I'm going to go ahead and say last call, give you a fair warning as these items will be closing shortly. All right, Christy Gilbert, you're in right now. We'll do one more check before we move on. We'll check our Cabo bids. The bids are at $2,750 with Christy Gilbert. Ladies and gentlemen, this item will be closing shortly, but before it does, I want you all to know, all right, United Through Reading's Readiness 365 initiative helps provide communication with 97% of families saying United Through Reading makes deployments and separations easier. I will not. As they go along, I'm not sure. I'll just say who's in first, okay? So, Christy Gilbert, you were leading when I stopped. We'll find out who the winner is. You'll all be notified this evening. That sounds good, right? Okay, here we go. This is awesome. I wish I could see you all. It's so much more fun when I can see you. All right, so here we go. Item number 3, Hilton Head and Private Clubs Golf Package. All right? Kindly donated by Sean and Tammy McHugh. Thank you so much. In fact, we should all give our donors a round of applause. All right, here we go. This exclusive golf package offers access to 3 premier South Carolina low country clubs: Belfair, Berkeley Hall, and Colleton River. All right. Enjoy 3 rounds of golf for a foursome and 2 nights lodging in your choice of on-site cottages available at each club. The quality of the Colleton River Club courses is matched only by their beauty. World-renowned designers Jack Nicklaus, Pete Dye, masterfully planned 36 holes amidst sweeping water views. Let's just see where we're at right now with package 103. All right. Okay, we started the bidding earlier today. Holy smokes, we started at 5. We jumped right to 1,000 with Ann. Ann jumped back in at 1,500. Michael McBride outbidder. We have 2,000, 2,250, 25 at a bid. We've got 2,750 bid, 3,000 with Maureen Fox. Maureen, God bless you. You bid twice in a row. I appreciate that. All right. Golf in its purest form awaits you at Berkeley Hall, where you will discover 2 Tom Fazio core golf courses patterned after the classic designs of the 1920s. And no, you don't have to play with wood-shafted clubs unless you want to. All right. Belfair's West Course opened in 1996, with Links magazine proclaiming it the finest set of golf holes in the Low Country, if not on the East Coast. Belfair's East Course is reminiscent of the Links courses of Scotland, where you will be sure to lose some golf balls. Okay, while showcasing the area's deep water views, freshwater lakes, and lagoons. All right, real quick here, I'm going to jump over. I'm going to see where our bids are at now. I have to update. I have to click on the package again, click on the bids, and let you know, Maureen Fox, you're still in first place. Right now, you're in first place. I'm just going to say that at 3,500, which means, Carol, you're outbid. Tim Weber, you've been outbid. And Carol, you've been outbid, as well as, gosh darn it, are you going to bid on every item, Mr. McBride? We appreciate that very much. All right, so here we go. Package includes 3 rounds of golf for your foursome at your choice of the private courses listed above, 2 nights lodging for 4 at your choice of on-site cottages, access to the expansive practice areas, fitness and recreation centers, and the dining facilities. Ladies and gentlemen, this item valued at nearly, actually over $4,000. And right now, our bid is just under. So let's update. Let's double check. Let's see where we're at. I'm going to let the winning bidders know that they will be notified this evening. All right, so here we go. This item will be closing shortly. But before we move on, I have to let you all know. United Through Reading's Readiness 365 initiative helps reinforce family routines, with 98% of families saying United Through Reading is a critical family readiness and resiliency tool. Well, again, that's why we're here. We're here to raise valuable dollars for this amazing organization. And now I don't want anyone to get discouraged, okay? We only have one more incredible live auction item, but that's okay, because when we get to raise the paddle, you will all have an opportunity to give and make a difference this evening. All right, here we go. We're going to start with item number 4. That's 104 if you're following along in handbid. It's a getaway to exotic Cancun, Mexico, kindly donated by Ann Murphy and Scott Kuiper. Thank you so much. We appreciate your donation. All right, here we go. It's exotic Cancun. Your accommodations await you. It's a 1-week Saturday stay. This amazing 2-bedroom condo features an oceanfront master suite with a private balcony overlooking an infinity pool. Well, I'm down. All right, the 2-bedroom condo comfortably sleeps 6, so there is room for a family or friends during your 7-night stay. Let's see where we're at with our bidding. Cancun getaway, valued again right up there in the $4,000 range, and our current bid right now is $2,000. So here's how it started. We started with Melissa Johnson at $500. Michael Barbero jumped in at $750. We went $1,000, got a bid $1,250 with Michael, $1,500 with Josie Beats. Michael McBride, there you are again. You bid $1,750, and right now Tina Swallow is in at $2,000. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is an incredible package. Once again, our items are completely donated, and you can only buy them right here, right now. Russ Smith, you're in at $2,250. Thank you so much. As you all know, Cancun is recognized worldwide for its spectacular white beaches, fine white sand, its beautiful turquoise blue sea, and its diving, all right? Unparalleled weather. There is no shortage of water activities. Whether you like to snorkel, swim, scuba dive, or you're a history buff, you will enjoy exploring the ancient Mayan ruins nearby. The stunning Caribbean destination will be sure to entertain adults and kids alike. All right, so let's see where we're at right now. I'm going to jump back over here. I'm going to update our bids. We're going to see where we're at. Once again, I encourage you to bid often and bid freely. Russ Smith, you're in at $2,250. Tina, you've been outbid. Let's do an update one more time. I'm going to go ahead and let our winning bidders know that after this item closes, you will be notified who the winners are. So I'd like you to continue to bid if you would. I'm going to update one more time. We'll see where we're at. We'll see if you're still in first place. And if you're not, we ask you to bid again. All right, so Russ, right now you're in the lead. That doesn't mean that you'll win, but right now you're in the lead. Tina and Michael McBride and Josie, you've all been outbid. And Tracy Pearson, you've been outbid as well. All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to let you all know that this item will be closing shortly. All right. United Through Reading's Readiness 365 initiative helps promote daily reading. With 90% of families, that's 90% of families reporting an increase in a child's love of reading since watching United Through Reading video recordings. Well, I'll tell you what, it's inspiring to me as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for what is probably the single most important thing I'm going to do this evening. But before I do, I want to thank each and every one of you for bidding, and thank you for your support, and thank you for getting involved and making a difference this evening. And again, I'm going to ask you, please share our story with everyone you know. Send them to the website, share them. They can tune in and watch this show. Maybe they'll be inspired by the stories they've heard, and maybe they'll continue to give as well. So here we go. Through our auction, we help United Through Reading continue to advance its mission. And please note, the winning bidders of the live auction items will be notified this evening. All right, to pay your invoice at the end of the night, click on the 3 lines in the upper left-hand corner of the HandBid app or any app you're on. Click there and click Invoices. We ask you to pay your invoices this evening. All right, this is why we are here. We're moving forward in the program to what I consider the single most important aspect. We're going to have an opportunity to give back, to raise the paddle. But before we do, I'm going to let Catherine introduce the amazing Sierra Myers, a United Through Reading beneficiary.
Thank you, Mark, for guiding us through that exciting auction. Now it's my pleasure to introduce one of United Through Reading's beneficiaries. Petty Officer Sierra Myers, an 11-year Navy veteran, has seen her share of deployments. But this single mother experienced a new level of separation when she left her 10-month-old son with her mother in Florida to serve aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln in a round-the-world deployment from Norfolk, Virginia to San Diego. Sierra wants to share with you how her United Through Reading recordings made all the difference during the 18 months she was away from her baby.
I am a single mother from Florida. My son is now 2.5 years old. I deployed on the Lincoln back in 2019 for a world cruise deployment that seemed to have no end. I originally dropped my son off at my mother's house in Florida in January 2019. That was when he was 10 months old. I deployed April 2019, right before he turned 1 year old. So I missed my son's first birthday. My biggest fear as a mother is my child going to forget about me? Is my son going to know who I am? So in order for me to maintain a relationship with my child, I decided to do the United Through Reading so my son had an opportunity to hear my voice, see me, get story time every night. First time I decided to go record a video, I was just up in the library and I saw people carrying books back and forth, and I was talking to the girl at the desk. I was like, what are they doing? She's like, oh, they're going to do their United Through Reading. First time I was nervous, but like every time after that, it got easier. I can go read to my son even though I'm tired, but I know it's gonna make his day a lot better. I read a lot of books. I think I did about 30. You just do what you can. You look at yourself and you're like, what do I need to do to make sure my kid's okay, because it's just me, and I grew up with both my parents, and it's like, it's hard laying every bit of trust into your family because you never know what could happen. My mother is 70 years old and she took care of a 10-month-old until he was about 2.5 years old. And she didn't have to, but she did. I had to buy her a portable DVD player, and every night he'd go, read book. He would see me holding a book and like flip through the pages every time I would turn a page. And he got to see me all the time. Every night he would read book, mommy read book. I jumped on the first opportunity to be able to go see my son. I didn't care how much leave I took. I had so much time saved up. My best friend drove all the way from LA to pick me up when the ship pulled in. I was the first one off the boat, and I caught the first flight out the next day. And I see my son in the car, and he looked at me and goes, hi, mommy. I was just all tears in the car, like, who is this kid? You weren't walking when I left you. It's hard to understand if you've never been deployed. It's hard to not know when you're gonna talk to your child again. These videos make it so much easier to let them hear our voice. Even though we can't hear their voice, they can still know who we are, remember who we are. My mother and I had this agreement that my son would stay in Florida until I didn't have any underways coming up. I was originally supposed to see him for his 2nd birthday in April. COVID hit, and they declined my leave because it was out of a 100-mile radius of California where I was at. So every month I was putting in a leave chit that kept getting denied. I ended up having his godmother actually fly him out here because it was kind of tearing me apart from him, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I had this sign made. I have waited 500 days and have traveled around the world to finally have you back in my arms again. I miss you so much. Welcome home. United through reading means I'm connected. I'm connected to my son. I personally feel like if I didn't have that, if United through reading didn't exist, I don't think my son would know who I am.
I'm back. Wow, Sierra, thank you so much for sharing your story. United through reading is such a valuable piece of their family history and story, and it helps families stay connected during their deployments and their military-related separations. We're getting ready for the Raise the Paddle. This is where each and every one of you have an opportunity to get involved and make a difference this evening. In order to support United through Reading with the Raise the Paddle pledge, please just click on the paddle raise category if on your computer, or for those of you on the Handbid app, simply swipe left or right, left to right in order to pull up the paddle raise opportunities. I'm going to make a request, and we're going to start at the highest level where we will work our way through each level. And please know that the dollars we raise are making a difference, and we're looking forward to 100% participation this evening. Simply click on your desired level of giving and pledge your support. It's a gift, ladies and gentlemen, and as you've heard from all 4 of our stories, they are making a difference. All right, so here's how we're going to do it. Our first level, a very bold request, is the $10,000 level. I know it's a bold request, and I'm going ahead and I want you all to know that we have lead gifts of $10,000. Mr. Greg Steinhoffel, thank you for your $10,000 gift. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Johnson has jumped in at $10,000. If you're with, by, or near either one of those gentlemen, please give them a big thank you from me and for everyone at United Through Reading. Also coming in at a $10,000 gift is Admiral Jim Zortman. Admiral, thank you. Thank you so much for getting involved and making a difference. All of the stories we've heard this evening have been inspirational, inspiring, and motivating. I'm going to check and see if anyone else chose to get involved at 10,000. Before I move on, we heard the Foley family. They shared earlier that they think the most important thing about United Through Reading is that it's providing that safety net of stability and family for children. The Taylor family shared that being able to play the book videos helped to soothe their son Ryan's soul as the deployment passed by. Let's check one more time at our $10,000 level and just see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you're with those gentlemen or you're with a family that would like to give, tell them thank you from us. Let's move on to our next level. Ladies and gentlemen, the $5,000 level. And Brian Rakasi, I see that you've jumped in at $5,000. In fact, you've jumped in online and raised your bidder number 209 and chose to give at the $5,000 level. Thank you so much. The Foley family also shared that having a sustained connection of a parent reading to a child and being able to incorporate that into the daily routine is not only a benefit to those at home, but as we heard, also a benefit to those downrange, those sailors out there at sea, ladies and gentlemen, reading to their children, and then their children receiving the gift. This is a gift for you to give by giving $5,000. All right, let me check. Let me see. Let me just make sure anyone else wants to jump in there before we move on. And again, we have lots of levels. And again, I'm going to ask you to share our story on your social media platforms. Let's get the word out. Let's share with the world what United Through Reading does and see if we can't have a better fundraiser than last year. All right, our next level, ladies and gentlemen, is the $2,500 level. And Terry Kraft and Jeff Mader have both come in with lead gifts of $2,500. Let me click here and see if anyone else has jumped in online. Oh, Beth Weber, you're online. You gave $2,500. I want to thank you for your gift. Thank you so much. All right, Dr. Sally Zoll, are you watching this? This is incredible. All right, here we go. At $2,500, let's see out. Oh, look at this. Catherine Spetter, bidder number 124. You chose to give $2,500 as well. All right. The Fontana family, their son shared how much he misses his dad when he is on trips. So he watches the books in the app so he can listen to him and be with him. And as you heard Sierra say in her video, who is this little boy? She didn't even know who he was. And through connection, he knew exactly who she was. So ladies and gentlemen, at the $2,500 level, I'm going to check and see. I don't want to miss a single gift. You can continue to give all evening. All right, let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to move on to the $1,000 level. We have many levels to go. I hope you'll choose to give it one. Oh, Fran, Holly Ann, thank you. You've come in at $1,000. That is outstanding. Oh, look at this. And when I click online to see who else, I've got Dwayne Junker. He came in at $1,000. And Sean McHugh, you also chose to give at the $1,000 level. Thank you so much. All right. We've heard in stories earlier this evening, the Fontana family shared that the app allows them to stay connected in a way that they wouldn't be able to do otherwise. And they also shared that they are grateful for the stability that United Through Reading programs helps to provide, being that military families aren't given a whole lot of guaranteed consistency. But this is a consistent program that we can all participate in. And by giving a gift of $1,000, you ensure that consistency. Holy smokes. We've got Kim Teague, who came in at $1,000, and Tracy Pearson, you came in at $1,000 as well. Thank you so much for giving. Let me check one more time at that $1,000 level and just see. Well, we're off to a great start, and I want to thank you all for your donations. Let's move on to our next level. All right. The $500 level. We're almost getting to where I can participate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the $500 level. We've already got gifts from Mr. Michael McBride. Thank you so much. Chelsea Sylvester and Denise Jelinski Hall. Not only were you guys bidding on those live auction items, but you chose to get involved and make a difference at the $500 level of our Fund to Need. All right, the Myers family shared earlier that their biggest concern during her deployment was that her son would forget. So she decided to participate with United Through Reading so that her son could hear her voice, see her face, and get story time every night. Wow, you were doing some reading. All right. That's a lot of reading. All right. At the $500 level. And by the way, I like that Admirals were reading too. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. Michael Barbero, you've came in. Elizabeth Jameson, you've came in. Michael McBride, you guys are amazing. I cannot thank you enough for your $500 gifts. I'm going to go ahead and click one more time. And if you opened a bottle of wine, you're not even going to finish it before this program's over, ladies and gentlemen. This is unique and different to what we've been doing in the past. All right. Our $500 level, we're going to continue to ask. I'm going to look at those purchases and see. Mr. Barbero, thank you so much for giving. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to one more level, the $250 level. Now, this is a great level. This is one where everybody can participate. And as I said earlier, we're looking for 100% participation from our guests this evening. You heard earlier, the Myers family shared that the video recordings make it so much easier to let kids hear their parents' voices and know who they are. We're keeping families connected at United Through Reading. We're keeping them in touch. And here's the deal. Deborah Leffler, thank you. Emily Arnett, thank you. Rebecca Hall and Charlotte Miller, you've all chosen to give at the $250 level, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate you. All right. The Myers family shared that United Through Reading means that she was connected to her son. Without it, she doesn't think her son would have known who she was when they were united. You heard Sierra say that earlier. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the $250 level. Let's just see how many we've got. We've got several more. Thank you for giving. So here's the thing. This is the last level that I'll call. This is an opportunity for all of you to get involved. In fact, I'm in for $100, Sally. You know I am, and I'll send that check, okay? I don't have the app. I'm going ahead and talk. I'm giving 100. Who'll join me at the $100 level. It's the raise the paddle portion. It's $100, and here they come. Kathy Housen, thank you. Nancy and Eric Ruttenberg, thank you. Terry Mateo, Tanya Wood, and Thomas Murphy, I'm joining you at the $100 level, all right? Now, maybe you work for a corporation that has a matching gifts. Let them know. They might match your gift, all right? Or maybe you'd like to give it a level higher, lower, or somewhere in between. You can do so by going to our website and giving, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, it has been such an honor to be a part of your evening. I want to thank you, and that concludes our paddle raise as a group. However, you can continue to give all night long, and I hope that you will, all right? It's been an honor, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I thank you for your support. You've made my job that much easier. Now, if you still wish to give, there's always opportunities to do so through Uniting Through Reading's website. And again, I'm going to ask you to please share your experience this evening. Please share a link to our program or to our website. Ask your friends to get involved. Ask them if they've heard of United Through Reading. If they haven't, put it on Twitter. Put it to the world. Let's share our story with the world. Thank you so much for giving.
Wow. Thank you, Mark, for another successful auction and appeal. And thank you to everybody who participated. I'm Brian Rourke-Cassidy, and I'm privileged to serve as the chairman of the board of trustees for United Through Reading. With my fellow trustees, we'd like to propose a toast tonight. This has been a challenging year for all of us here at United Through Reading. Like most charitable organizations, we're forced to cancel fundraising events and modify how we go about the important mission of connecting military families. But if we think it's been tough on us, just think of how it has affected military families. All of those daily challenges like virtual schooling, work from home, explaining to kids why they can't play with their friends become that much more difficult when mom and dad are deployed. That's what drives us at UTR, and I'm so proud to say that the entire United Through Reading staff, led by CEO Dr. Sally Enzel, has never missed a beat. And they've had the full support of UTR trustees, all of whom have put in extra hours to provide time, talent, guidance, and resources. So tonight, we raise a toast to you. Thank you for all you do for military families. Thank you for your ability to find new creative ways to ensure service members have books in quarantine. Thank you for your constant outreach to military families to make sure they know how to access United Through Reading. And thank you for working every day to foster those important family connections that come when children share story time with the ones they love. Thank you. And I'd also like to thank our sponsors who continue to support our mission during this extremely difficult period. And finally, thank you for joining us for Storybook Chapters. We appreciate you joining us virtually this year, but we cannot wait to get together in person for events in 2021. Please save these dates. We hope to have you with us on May 19th in Washington, D.C. for the tribute to military families, and again on November 6th in San Diego for the 2021 Storybook Ball. Please stay safe, everyone. We'll see you next year.
Military families often sacrifice precious time away from loved ones while serving our country.
We were worried that with him leaving, that she would lose those connections with her dad.
Some of life's best moments happen between parents, children, and the pages of a good book. United Through Reading provides that connection. And now, United Through Reading is also available to veterans. Learn more about United Through Reading at unitedthroughreading.org.